right, welcome to episode 20 of the side B of 21st Century Rocker Mom podcast with special guest Fallon Bowman. Of course, we're recording it on the same day, but because we love to fuck with y'all, you get side B the next week. So welcome, you bigoted bitches. Thank you for coming back. I'm so excited to see you, Fallon. I'm excited to have you still here with me.
Thank you.
I can't say I'm excited to have you back because you never left. We just flipped the tape over.
You just flip the tape, flip it, and reverse it. You know what I'm saying?
I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it, Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone this long and I haven't had to go pee.
I know.
Or whatever she's saying in that song. So many things in the 90s. Where did we stop? Where did we stop the tape?
That's a very good question. It just literally just happened.
I said, and now we're going to stop the tape. And now we're old. No, I'm just joking. I know exactly where we stopped. It was one day that I said that basically like grunge
right.
and music and interactives and like things like MTV Unplugs, lives, all that stuff. And it wasn't like the internet or social media started. There wasn't, like I said, there wasn't any event that started it. Well, it was like the day the music died. It was like, where the fuck did all this stuff go? All of a sudden, it was gone. It was like, it was erased.
So
what was that like for you? Like, what's your take on it? Like your view on it?
So if we trace it back, let's think about it. So we had
walk it back.
Things like, with things like TRL, Total Request Live, things like that. Those were more like interview based stuff, but there wasn't any performances.
True, they were talk based.
We had MTV in Toronto up until maybe mid 2000s, and then that closed. We no longer have performances, I don't think, in Toronto anymore at Much Music up until
doesn't do that.
I don't think they do that anymore. I don't know why.
There's no speaker's corner.
There's no speaker's corner. It can't be like a security thing.
I don't know, because even before COVID, they didn't do it. I'm talking like way before COVID.
Yeah,
like they didn't have bands in to like chat and have the VJ sit and talk to them, and then they maybe do an acoustic performance, or there maybe be something like, or they didn't have bands. Like I remember bands coming on TV shows, like even like really like mainstream shit that my mom would watch, and then like No Doubt would be on like Good Morning America or something, or like a really mainstream TV show that would be like a mom show or like a parent show. And like your favorite band would be on it or something, or they'd be on Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live still has bands.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But that's about.
We also think about too, like Saturday Night Live has that stuff. Late night television, do they still have that? Musical
they have
guests?
Sometimes bands, and like they'll have like a skit. Like I know, like I think like Jimmy Fallon like always like has his guest and him do like a musical thing like together, and they're always really like entertaining. And I know James Corden does things like that too. He'll do like pop-up things, like he did like a James Corden, that British guy.
Well, but Conan doesn't have a show anymore.
No, Conan's done.
But Conan has his own show on TBS though.
Yes, he does.
But he doesn't have
music. But he did he had originally. Us. He had Kitty with you guys. Yeah, when I left the band, when Talina joined, he had you guys on Conan.
And he had Disturbed. He had all of these he had weird time where he was
had Slipknot on?
Yeah.
Conan?
Yeah. He had
Conan the Barbarian, or
Conan bookings for a while. We were terrible, by the way.
Really?
But still,
but you were on Conan. That's cool.
This window of time where he was booking really heavy bands, and then no more.
Man. Wasn't he like a tall guy, like a really freakishly tall gentleman?
Like this, I swear to you, he was 6'6", maybe.
I remember when you told, I was like, "What was he like when you met him?" You're like, "He was like a tree,
literally like a tree." And I was wearing huge platforms,
like New Rocks, right? Were you wearing New Rocks? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, yeah. Tall shoes, very, very big
shoes.
okay, so let's think about this for a second. So
If we
there's
trace back.
obviously a market for it, right? If you're gonna have a band, even if you're gonna have a band like My Chemical Romance or someone like
Sure.
that, nowadays, show up at Much Music, that the space that they have here, say they're gonna show up live, they're gonna play 5 songs or whatever. You're gonna have a crowd of people that are gonna show up to listen to them play.
Of course you are. Because the people will be crowding outside the window like they did for I and I's.
Crazy.
Exactly.
To play, to listen to them, whoever, even if it's not My Chemical Romance, but somebody even Canadian like Billy Talent or
anyone.
There's a market for it. So I don't understand why there isn't interest, why they don't feel that there is there is commercial value in doing that, because I feel like it all comes down to the dollars and cents, right?
Exactly. They don't feel like that. I don't feel like there's like the physical value. I mean, like look at Electric Circus, like how big that was.
Oh,
that was so many people's like weekend. And we just go over to somebody's house and just dance to Electric Circus. Like nobody got drunk or high. We just danced to Electric Circus. And the clothes, man. Like
the whole point, I think, of doing that.
Where did that go?
It was to go there to be seen on TV.
Exactly. You wanted to be seen like dancing, and it would be like, oh my God, you'd see your friend, be like, oh my God, I saw so and so on EC. Holy shit! Like you'd lose your mind. Or if so and so was on. Pardon, EC.
Should we explain what Electric Circus is?
Electric Circus. Well, you explain what Electric Circus is.
Okay, so Electric Circus was a televised dance party on Much Music, which was our version, I guess, of MTV.
Canadian MTV.
Yeah. So it was a dance party where a bunch of people would dance to house music, techno, etc.
And it was weekly, and it was like filmed live, and you go down to Much Music for a dance party. And I don't know, I don't know how you would like get in. Was there like a door guy? Like I never went, obviously. I am an atrocious dancer. I watched it, but you know my dancing goes from like looks like fucking clumsy and confused. I'm just like, I like the best dancer ever. Like this is why I don't drink, because get a few drinks in me and like my butt's on the floor like dancing and like grinding. I have not had to do an alcoholic beverage in like over 2 years. Yeah, that doesn't need to happen. We don't need to see dancing, Tanya. But like Electric Circus, like these things were amazing. They were so impressive.
That you brought up, like where it's stopped, why is it's no longer a thing that these sort of live events that are not necessarily concerts, they're just kind of intermittent interactives where you can,
I guess what they're called, gatherings now.
Yeah, they're like a gathering. I mean, now it's a little bit weird because of COVID, but
before, like, why not? Like, why not? Where did that go? I think something about the 90s spirit, like, that went away too. People changed the way they wanted to consume music, I think, too. I mean, there is a calling for it, but also you got to think about it not just from the producer side, then there's the consumer. How do I want my music to come to me? We live in a very instant message, because we didn't have this in the 90s. Instant message, instant gratification, right now fucking world. If I need it, there it is in my hand right now. Like, entertain me. I need to be entertained in 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Like, my attention span is going down, 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 down.
I saw that with my album. Like, I released it and people are like, yeah, great, it's great. And now, like, no one cares. It's because I'm not putting out things like this. Like, no one
go.
Putting stuff out like
they just have this like insatiable appetite to like consume it faster and faster and faster and faster. And I mean, for me, if I was gonna like compare this to sex, take your time.
It's like fruit flies, man.
Like, seriously, just like, you got a joint? It'd be cooler if you did. Like, just fucking eat some weed brownies, put on some Phil Collins, or like 90s Phil Collins, and like just sort it out, man. Sort it out, dude. I'm serious. I said that to Rob the other night. I'm like, I think if the premier and if the prime minister like ate a plate of weed brownies and listened to some Phil Collins, like the early stuff, and sat down together, just like the love songs, they could probably figure out what's going on with Canada right now. And he was just like,
Sort it out, man.
are you going to tweet that? I'm like, I don't know. I might. But like even things like Speaker's Corner, we don't need Speaker's Corner anymore because we have Facebook and everybody has their opinion and we have Twitter. But I think you lose like, and I mean, everyone has TikTok and like you can get your Speaker's Corner, but I think that you lose the like the peopleness of going down to a booth and pushing a button and like waiting your turn to like say your piece on Speaker's Corner and wait to see if yours came up on TV. Like, was I close enough to get mine to come up? Like, or did it not? You know, and there was City TV everywhere. Everybody knew that guy's voice in Canada. I will put it that way. Anyone who watched that station. Those were some of my like favorite like 90s things because I loved those things. Like I loved them.
And it was, there were some pretty iconic moments though on Speaker's Corner, and like Bare Naked Ladies made their appearance on there. And but you're right, because now everybody has their own Speaker's Corner, but like there's just an oversaturation of people on their own Speaker's Corner. But that's what made Speaker's Corner so
every fucking corner.
Yeah. And that's what remember how London had their own Speaker's Corner too?
Yes, I went to it. I remember it used to be by Oxford and Richmond.
Yeah.
And it was just against that
still
one
there.
There.
Technically.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's theoretically there. It's like, and I think there's like a head shop there because like I worked at a dental office down there by the Wendy's, and I used to walk down. A friend of mine, she's a nurse now, but she owned a shoe shop down there, like a British shoe shop, and I'd always go down there to buy these like tuck shoes that only she carried, which were like awesome because she could only get tucks. So I was like, okay, let's go get these shoes. And like,
the creepers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they were cute shoes, and I loved wearing them when I would dental assist, and they would let me wear them. They weren't quite nursing shoes, and they weren't like dental assisting like running shoes or like what I would usually wear. But for being in a clinic, they were the shit. So I'd go and buy them. But Speakers, I'd always walk past old Speaker's Corner, and I'd be like,
oh, nostalgia.
I remember getting drunk underage and going downtown and going on Speaker's Corner if I could fucking walk that far.
That's a far walk. Yeah.
If you're drunk and call the office, it's a far fucking walk all the way to Wally Bloom's, asshole. Like, God, how many fucking Sammy Souvlaki wagons do you have to cross? How many train tracks do you have to cross? You got to go past the Five and Diner. I'm going old London here, right? Like, I'm going, like the Five and Diner. That was like one of our like 90s hangouts when we weren't at the mall and we weren't at like the movies and we weren't at band practice because, like, let's face it, like in the 90s, we didn't really have a lot of time to get in trouble because we were like always at band practice.
Yep.
Always.
True.
Or playing a show. What are you doing on the weekend? We're like literally working.
Yeah.
Working. That's what I'm doing. Or recording an album and then, you know, going to school the next day or whatever. Like that was the 90s for us. We did do a lot of working. There was a lot of that. And the 90s for us, because of Kitty, was like a huge introduction to this genre that came out called nu metal, which was just like,
oh,
what is this?
I had another thought. When did you get the internet at your house?
Oh my God. I had the internet because you and I sometimes used ICQ and MSN Messenger.
I didn't have ICQ, so it would have been MSN.
It would have been MSN.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was just boys that was like, that's like more like my mom. She's like, fuck. No. I got the internet like late, right? Oh God.
98-ish.
I would have been like 14 or 15. So yeah. So it would have been around then. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Because I was talking about this on my stream a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was like a hallmark for relating to this about the 90s was when I got the internet. Well, we had the internet, I guess, kind of late 90s as well. 97,
Sure.
98. And
Yeah.
some of the things that I got into once I got the internet was joining Yahoo groups.
Oh
So
yeah,
some
that
of the
was
first
huge.
some of the first email addresses I had was, okay, of course, Hotmails, but I
Yes.
had a Yahoo address, and I was also part of these Yahoo groups, these interest groups. So it was like
Sure.
your Corn, your Deftones, whatever. And some of the friends
Like
that I
Children of the
made,
Corn or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
like some of the friends that I made in some of these Yahoo groups, I'm still friends with those people
Oh,
today,
hands down, same. All like
which is
most of my Yahoo groups, we still keep in touch. It's
which
ridiculous.
is weird.
It's
And
awesome.
which I do not recommend, and I'm not endorsing this whatsoever.
No, no,
I
no.
was like 14, 15 years old, and
Uh-huh.
some of the internet chat speak that we use, which was A/S/L, which means when you're asking people
Age,
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 sex,
sex, location. Want
location.
to confuse a whole generation? Drop your
Yeah.
ASL in the comments, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, so many people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is
The fuck?
ASL?"
Yeah. ASL.
Oh my
ASL.
god.
And that would be the first thing that
AOL?
you ask people when you're in these chats, like ASL,
Yes.
ASL, and just so that you know. And I would freely tell people that.
Same. Same because I was just like, I'm on the internet.
Not
No one's gonna
recommending
hurt
that, by the
me.
way. Don't do that.
No,
Don't
fuck
do that.
kids. Don't
Do
fucking
not
tell
do that.
anyone. Well, number one, this video is 18 and over. You have to sign
Oh,
in
okay.
to hear it. But obviously, in no way are we endorsing that. Safety on the internet. If you're a parent and you're watching this, you should have those safety controls on your internet because I'm sorry, people are watching your children. Those people should be you, theoretically. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that do a lot of weird shit. So you should be taking care. When we were kids, we didn't know any better. But now we do know better, and that's why we do better. So in no
Yeah.
way are we endorsing this. But yeah, we did it. Absolutely, we
Yep.
did it. Age, sex, location. Fuck. Yep. I'd be like, yep.
I'm in
Female,
Canada, or I would
15,
say I'm
London,
in
Ontario,
Canada,
whatever.
or I think I said, yeah, I would say I was in Canada. I'm
Would you?
14 or 13 or whatever, and
Yeah.
I'm a girl.
Yep.
No
And like
problem.
now, like as a parent, it's like, and even like
That
you don't have kids, but I mean, you're an aunt to my children, like, and like you have like niece, like it makes your heart want to stop.
no,
Just giving that information out freely, like that was like such a thing then. Just like, just I just met this person on Messenger, and I'm just gonna talk to them. What
Yeah.
the fuck? Oh, I met this person in the Corn Palace, and now we're just gonna just like chit chat, and we're actually gonna like meet up at the mall. What? What the fuck? Like I remember one very specific mall meetup in the 90s with a kitty fan.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
No.
And someone
Hold
had
on.
orchestrated it for us, and it was like, Tanya, I have this kitty fan, and she like really loves Kitty. I'm like, okay, you told me she's a kitty fan. And I have a copy of Sex as Hell, like the tape. I'm like, so do I. Good for you. And she's gonna come down from wherever in America, like a 5-hour drive with her mom to come meet you. And I'm like 16 at the time. So I'm like, and she wants you to autograph this, like, she wants you to autograph this tape and like hang out with her at the mall. I'm like, this is like a boy that I was like hanging out with. I'm like, why are you orchestrating this? Of course, because he was trying to make money. So this fucking girl and her mom drive down from like literally somewhere in America, like 5-hour drive away to come meet me at the mall. And what do? My stupid ass goes and fucking meets them. And I go and hang out and have lunch with this girl and her mom, who were like totally normal and totally nice and totally lovely. And I signed all her stuff and her pictures, and there was hugs and pictures and all that stuff and everything. But like nowadays, like fuck no, you got to watch out for your personal safety. You're like, why do you think I don't put pictures of my kids on my 21st Century Rocker Mom page? Because it's not fucking part of my 21st Century Rocker Mom shit. It's just not.
Yeah.
No one needs to see my fucking kids' faces. Fuck off.
I know I see some people also put like smiley faces over top of their kids.
I do that. If there's any pictures I ever post with the kids in them, I will throw like a heart over their face, or like a peach or a butt or something funny. Or like, you know what I mean? A peach, or because peaches remind me of butts. 90s were big for like live concerts. I went to a lot of concerts in the 90s, as did you. We played a lot, but we went to a lot.
Yeah, indeed. And it was it was a bit of a struggle to get my parents to let me go. And
yeah, it was always a little bit tougher for you to go to concerts. I remember, like, you'd always be like, well, like Tanya's going to be there too.
Yeah.
And then your parents would be like, okay.
Because my parents loved
Okay.
you. They still love you.
Well, and they knew how like my mom kind of was, right? They knew that my mom was a little bit freaked out. She was like, she was a little bit nervous, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, if Tana's nervous, that's mom's gonna let her go. Okay, you can go too. Like I say, going to concerts in the 90s, I bet you kept like every ticket stub you had. Oh, here we go. What do we got? Oh my God. There's someone in the oh.
Clearly I had it
That's
up
my
on a
kindergarten
wall.
picture. Oh, that's my kindergarten.
How old were you in the photo?
I was 6.
Oh my God. So
does that look like my son or my daughter or both? Which one does it look like?
I think more like Harrison.
Look like Harry. You look like Harry Bear.
Yeah.
He's just like the eyes and the smile. Now that he's like lost teeth too, because he just like we had 2 tooth losses in the last 2 weeks. So I am one broke motherfucking tooth fairy. The first tooth. I had to talk. Dude, I had to talk to other. This is another thing in the 90s. Like, sorry, I got a quarter for a tooth, motherfucker. What's a tooth worth now? I had to consult with other tooth fairy parents. And what did the other tooth fairies say? The first one's worth a cool 20. I'm like, if they get it extracted at the dentist? They're like, no, like it's a 20 for the first tooth. I'm like, sorry, okay. What? So I had to fly into his room and put $20 under and then each subsequent tooth is a $5 unless it's a fucking molar. Fuck that. Anything anterior, bicuspid to the front, is $5. Molars to the back, you can get a tenner for those, but that's it. Man, losing teeth ain't cheap these days. Fuck.
Milk teeth. What do they call it? Milk teeth?
Why do they call them milk? Because they used to think that like milk would keep them healthy and stuff, when actually milk has so much sugar in it that when babies go to bed with like a bottle of milk, it like rots their teeth. What do you got there? What is that? Oh my God. Is that from a Western Fair? Is that from a somersault? Or just a regular Western Fair concert?
You get I have to get it photocopied or something because the ink is starting to
I can see like the Western Fair. I just can't see what band it is. Was it Moist? Is it Moist? I'm like, oh my God, it is Moist.
September 8th, 1997.
Holy shit.
For that one.
How much was it?
$5.
$5 to see David Usher. Here comes my big erection. Everybody wants to learn from my man. Everybody said to leave you when you go. He actually went to U of T. He went to U of T on like a scholarship. I don't know of what. I'm guessing it wasn't for music. Moist was not a band that I got into.
No.
Like they were just like they were like too intense for me.
I love I really and I still do really like the Tea Party. That's who we went to go see next.
Oh my God. That was that night. Oh my God, that Tea Party. That was a contact high night. Yeah. That is the Tea Party ticket stuff. That was such a good show at Centennial Hall. I remember just like very distinctly just sitting out on the steps after, just chilling, being like, yeah, man, great show. Waiting for our moms to pick us up.
November 5th.
What do we got from that was November 5th? I remember like it not being that cold though, because we were outside after, not like suffering. We were just like sitting on the stairs.
Just chilling.
And everybody, that's to talk about a Purple concert. That was a concert that I got a contact high from that concert.
Yep. I wrote about it.
Was not
journal afterwards, I remember.
Did you? Because I was not smoking pot at that concert at that time. I know I wasn't for sure, because I know what concerts I went to and I know when I smoked weed and whatever time those were. And I was with you. So I definitely wasn't smoking weed because that was not your jam. Fuck no.
Not my jam.
Like, I would you would never find you, especially in the 90s, with a fucking joint in your hand ever. It wasn't your thing. And it was a lot of people's thing. It just wasn't yours. And yours was playing fucking guitar. And so like, and getting stickers for your guitar and like going to the rock shop and getting things for like, that was totally you, and getting like patches for like your Novak's bag. And that was your thing. Right. But I remember coming out of that concert and being fucking like, I was like bombed over Baghdad. I'd never felt like that. I was like fucked right up. I was like, what the in the Durban just fucking went on in there? Holy Girl Scout cookies, I'm fucked. Like I was
doodled.
I was cushed out. I was done after that concert. But that concert, obviously, there were more concerts. Like so many concerts used to go on in the 90s, like festivals. I remember going to so many festivals. Do you remember festivals? Yeah. Like Warped Tour was huge. Like
Warped Tour,
never went to it.
The stub for that one. I don't know what happened.
I have it somewhere. Which one did you go to? Was it the same one that I went to? A couple.
I went to you might have gone to the one that I didn't go to, which is the one that was at Western Fair.
No, I went to a couple in Toronto. I went to a couple out of town. I went to the one at the Western Fair.
That was the one with Limp Bizkit at it, remember?
Yes, it was the one with Limp Bizkit at it. Yes.
Because I didn't go to that one.
I went to the one with Limp Bizkit at it. It was something. But like the Warped Tour, and then like the Warped Tour I went to, there was Green Day, there was Long Beach Dub All Stars, there was Save Ferris, there was I think the Donnas. I saw one Warped Tour. Like I fucking Rancid. I saw one Warped Tour. I saw the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. There was there's too many fucking amazing like bands to name. And then of course the 90s, which I know you and I never made it to this concert particularly, but there was fucking Lollapalooza.
Very sad to make it to that one.
We were just like not quite old enough to be there.
Yeah. No.
Because like I worked with a dentist for years who was just a couple years older than me, like maybe like 4 or 5 years older than me. And one day I was just a square dentist. He just started talking to me about how he had gone to this Lollapalooza. And I was just like, still my dentist to this day. He's still my dentist to this day, like best dentist ever. He's rad. But he just opened up about it one day and I was like, that is fucking awesome. And he was telling me about Lollapalooza. And like I literally like couldn't stop listening to this story because it was just so amazing. Because like he'd been there. And like there was like did I what?
Did he tell you which one it was?
It was the one where the Red Hot Chili Peppers were there. Nice. He told me it was the one with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I was like, because he said he would like loved, like he was like, I loved Red Hot Chili Peppers at the time. He's like, and I had long hair and like I could not like picture him like this, right? So I was like, oh my goodness, really? Like I would have killed to go see Lollapalooza.
Surprise you, right? You're like, really?
Oh yeah. I was like, I thought you were kind of a little bit square, but I'm like, you're fucking cool as fuck. Well, I always knew he was cool because like he was like super nice. He was a nice boss, and like I say now, like he's the only dentist like I'm like not afraid of. He like works on my teeth, and I'm like whatever. He's super cool. But I remember like the evolution of like different concerts. Like then there was like Lilith Fair, right? Like Lilith Fair came out.
Lilith Fair, yeah.
And I remember like we were almost like on it.
We were
just about. There was like talk of Kitty gonna do Lilith Fair. I remember there was like small talk of Kitty gonna do Lilith Fair, and then I think we all kind of were like, that's probably like not the
best idea.
Because Battershell actually did do a band that we were on the same label with. Battershell actually did do a small stint at Lilith Fair.
Did they?
Did you know? FYI. Yes, they did. They are cool as shit. That was one fucking like 90s band that I'm still totally influenced by, that I still listen to. I still have both of their albums. Fucking, oh my God, Battershell, like Love Punks. So good. Like Better Now. So good.
So very, very cool.
And so very, very quintessentially 90s. Like absolutely. Like just such a good band. I mean, I still keep in touch with all the people from Battershell. They're fucking awesome. Like New York City, like in the 90s, late 90s is 90s for me. That was huge for you too. Like that's where we were in the 90s.
I consider myself an honorary New Yorker at that point because I was like, we were there so much that it was so like often. Just back and forth. At that point, I was like, I love this city, and I still do.
I also consider myself an honorary New Yorker.
Love that
I will city. Go back. I don't think I could live there just because with the pace, but like I could probably like live in the Hamptons or something.
No big deal.
I would go live in Grey Gardens, actually.
No big deal. I mean,
Grey Gardens. I just be like,
I pretty much live in the Bronx.
Pretty much, I'd be like little Edie, just fucking
small version.
I'd be little Edie waving my flag around like little Edie all the time. in Grey Gardens. I'd be like, oh, you guys want to see a dance? No hair, just with a kerchief on, just a baboon and babushka waving an American flag. That would be me, and that would be me living in the Hamptons. It would actually be Grey Gardens. Then that is me.
I can see it. It's in my mind's eye.
Except it wouldn't be cats. It would be puppies. There would be puppies everywhere. Because I love God. Because goddamn, I love puppies. You could cover me. I said to the kids the other day that I wanted to fill a swimming pool with puppies. I just go hang out with them. And then of course, like Harrison's like the whole swimming pool. He's like, or like just the bottom. And I'm like, well, just the bottom, so they can like run around and stuff. And I'm like,
no,
like,
just
why
like
swimming?
Like treading water.
He's like, treading puppies. Get out of the way, puppies! Boom, dog! Get out of the way! Get out of the way, dog! Get out of the way! Boom, dog! Get out of the way! I'd be saying that forever. Holy shit! But like, no, like all those live concerts were amazing. You like the '90s so much that you started a '90s cover band.
I did, and it was something that I had wanted to do for a long time, but it was difficult to find people that were as passionate about
like-minded.
That were as passionate about that particular genre and loved that music as much as I did.
Exactly. And that time,
eventually found people that were like, yeah, totally, or just wanted to like jam and didn't want to like, and yeah. But then
they
just
also
found people that wanted to play music. They
didn't want to fuck around either. Like they were actually like, I saw you obviously, and I came and sang with you. Like, you guys were fucking tight. Like, I wish that band could have like continued. Dream Phone was the shit. Like, Dream Phone was the shit. I think you guys should do a Dream Phone, like pipe each other in, like do a 4-way, like Zoom thing. Like, you know how they do on like punk rock karaoke? Check out Punk Rock Karaoke on Instagram. If you check out Darren Pfeiffer, who used to play drums, or who still plays drums for Goldfinger, Darren Pfeiffer has this thing called Punk Rock Karaoke, and Jen Pop from the Bomb Pops, actually, she's one of the singers and the guitar players in the Bomb Pops, a band that I really like. She just did Longview, and they do like karaoke versions of punk songs. So they put these bands together and they pipe in the bass player, they pipe in Darren Pfeiffer, obviously the drummer, they pipe in whoever, and then they get a singer. They had Will Wheaton on doing a Dead Kennedy song Will Wheaton a few weeks ago doing a Dead Kennedy song. Weeks ago, Will Wheaton did a fucking Dead Kennedy song, but that was weeks ago. But honestly, you got to check out this Punk Rock Karaoke. I think that if you and Jay and Nooch and fucking Joey fucking pipe that shit in like 4-way, like on a Zoom call, oh my God, like a Dream Phone, that would be my dream fucking concert. I would go to that.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. And then we could totally do it.
Fucking yes! Call Jay Bartlett on the phone. Tell him, fucking mic up those drums, motherfucker. Jay Bartlett, mic up your drums. Jay, mic up your drums. Nooch, it was so much fun for everyone. Like, I know you guys were having fun, but everyone who was like standing there listening to it was like, this is awesome.
But the thing is that I find it so hard to like, I would need to find a space that I could actually sing in, because it's really hard to sing in this space, because
and certain spaces are easier for singing,
like I would need to probably soundproof the ceiling and the walls here, because like it's paper thin in here, like I can hear them talking, but it sounds like, whoa, it's muffled. But I'm pretty sure
the best thing for that is sound blankets. I will tell you that right now, just because we have a production studio in the basement. Cheap sound blankets, we'll get rid of that. And then gone.
I feel terrible whenever I'm like streaming. Like I can't control my volume. Like I just can't.
So you know what? I don't feel terrible ever, because I can't ever control my volume, because I'm like the loudest motherfucker on earth.
Even when I'm doing self tapes for like for my acting, like sometimes I just can't, and I'm just like Like it's just
sometimes you have to, there's outbursts, right?
yeah.
Like it sounds like a Maddie Matheson fucking cooking show. Like every time, like it's like, ah! Like every time, like Robbie's like, was Maddie Matheson like at our house? Like all I could hear was swearing and fucking screaming. I didn't know where like Just a Dash was going on downstairs, which is of course like that's like one YouTube show that like I watched the fuck out of. You ever watched Just a Dash with Maddie Matheson? He was like big with like the cancer bats. He's like a fucking amazing chef. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the Toronto personality, big
The
tattooed guy.
good
Fucking
friends
oh my god.
with my
His
yeah, he's great.
So entertaining. He's so entertaining. He's like probably like my favorite like YouTube like personality ever because he's just
big husky guy.
Just real. He just looks like a fucking cooking lumberjack. He's a big guy. Like you know that me, I love big beautiful men. Like you know, I was talking to my friend the other day, a male friend, about men and body positivity and how there should be kind of like more of it. And he said something about big. He said BBBM, and I was like, "What is this?" He's like, "Big bearded beautiful men." I'm like, he's like, "Let's start the hashtag." I'm like, "Fuck, I'm all about it." I'm like, "Let's have some more male body positivity," because there's like I find there's not a lot. I have a lot of male followers, and I am really into body positivity, like generally. And I just don't see a ton of male body positivity out there. I would like to change that. I would like to see that change.
You know who I was watching or listening rather to the H3 podcast, and they're talking about that recently too with Jack Black and how he also talks a lot about the kind of body positivity and how he champions a lot of that too with and he also did like this small reel on Instagram basically
oh my God.
as Captain America, and he's literally just wearing like nothing with
it's like teeny tiny underwear.
Yes. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, dude, like
I love it.
It's amazing.
And like the time warp video that he did, and he's just, you know what, he's got his tummy hanging out, and I'm like, women are doing it.
I love
like
it.
We've all had
I was like fuck, it looks great.
Like I've had like babies. Like if I have a shirt where like my belly is hanging out, I'm like, there it is, because I've had two kids. Two kids have come out of it, so there it is in all its belly glory. I'm glad like men are letting their bellies show. I'm like, fucking let it out. Fucking let it out. Let it out, Buddha. Like I just want to see how wise you are. Let me see that belly. It's like the dad bod's actually fucking cool. Like people call it like the dad bod. Like it's fucking cool, because guess what? We're that age now. Not everybody looks like a fucking. Not everybody looks the same. Not everybody's gonna fit in one little box, and it is what it is, you know. And that was the other thing about the '90s too. I find that that's when like everybody was they were more inclusive, because nobody really cared. Everybody just hung out with everybody, and now there is so much more talk about inclusiveness and the need to be inclusive. And I don't know where that need came from at one time, because at one time that need wasn't there, because everybody just was inclusive. It didn't matter if you're gay or straight or black and white or bi or binary or non-binary, or it didn't matter, because no one even questioned it. Nobody made fun of anybody. Everybody just hung out. It was so simple. But now we see the underlying issues that change with that.
I feel like we didn't really I feel like our group of friends, like if anybody was gay or had like different identity or
like gender identities. It's just
gender identity.
I don't remember it being I think our friend group was a little bit, because we were the way we were. We're a little bit more like woke, as the kids call it now, to those things. Because I remember us like never like even like questioning it, or it wasn't even like a thing. It wasn't even like, oh, so and so came out of the closet, and it would be like, oh, so and so came out of the closet. It was like, finally, like it would be like.
I don't think we had any. Did we have anybody that identified as the like even just friends that identified as trans? We didn't even have that word. Was never really.
Yeah, that wasn't the word that
wasn't
we
a word
then.
for us. It just wasn't.
We had friends that now we would say that they identified as trans then. But then
it wasn't even a thing. Like it was like, okay, well,
they were just like, there's our friend so and so who wears dresses all the time. Okay, like it wasn't a thing like it is now. It wasn't a thing. I remember.
And I'm not saying it in a bad way. It was just like It wasn't
No.
something that we it wasn't something that we um how do we say it, like it was just accepted.
Yeah, it was
Always,
accepted.
without
It was
question.
not questioned. Everyone
Yeah.
was, it was just complete inclusiveness. Like it was
Yeah.
just, oh, there was our friend, and like he would generally present as male, but then he'd show up to a show in like a full, dress, or show up in full drag, and like no one would say anything except like, oh, I like your dress. Where did you get that? Like, and we know it would be, whoever it was, but it wouldn't be a thing. Or it would be like an awesome thing. Like someone would show up wearing a boa or something. It'd be a thing, like as it would be, like it would be a big deal.
Mhm.
Because like if somebody showed up in drag, like that was like a big deal. Like that was huge for us. Like that was like we
Because
had
it was
K-Fest.
never, like the inclusivity and the
acceptance was just there.
the acceptance was just there in our community, in our group.
Yeah, in our little community, our little
but
village,
maybe
like,
outside of, I guess we can't really speak for outside of, but for
no,
us,
I can't. In the outside world, whatever went on with everybody else and what was going on in their camp was what was going on with them. With us, it was very inclusive. Like we had a rainbow of colors of friends, you know what I mean? Every
Mhm.
color under the rainbow, every color, every creed, every background, every culture, you know what I mean? And then as far as like identification and like the LGBTQ like community, like everything under the sun, we just didn't know it then. Like we didn't know there was a name for it. We just knew that it was friends. And I miss that so much. You know what I mean? It's just friends. And that's what I miss about the 90s. Just that inclusiveness for like no reason. Just because it's friends. Just because it is. Not to be
Like,
nice, not because you're
it
trying to
is.
prove a point, not because you're trying to sell a product, not because you're trying to fucking, get somebody to follow you on Instagram or whatever, or trying to get more followers because you're trying to follow one community or another community, or not piss this community off or not piss that community off. Everybody just loved everybody. It was very like hippie-ish, like in a sense. Like when you say that like
So
the 90s
90s
was
is the
like
new
our
60s.
60s. Yeah. No, when you say that, like I really feel that because there was so much love going on in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like so much love. Like it was wonderful. It was a good time.
So I
bet you
wonder what
$100.
our kids will think about, like
God.
the times that they're growing up in, like what their 60s will be.
I don't know. I know what they think of the 90s. They love it. Like they love it. Like
Well, because
the
now
other
I
day,
think like
oh my
kids
God.
growing up, teenagers growing up now, they think the 90s are like, or sorry, they think the 2000s
coolest.
like so cool.
Oh my God, the 2000s are the best. And then like 90s now, I see hashtags that are like 90s vintage, 90s nostalgia. I'm like, oh my God, we're vintage now. I said that to Rob like when we got up this morning.
Vintage.
It was like, I don't know, we're lying in bed. It was like 5:30. I was like, we're vintage now. We're like nostalgia now. And he's like, that's fucking hilarious. And we like,
Yeah.
of course, we're like howling, laughing. The kids were already up, like being crazy. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's crazy time to get up and just go down, put on some coffee and just fucking put on some tunes. I think I put on Garbage. Like I put
Yeah.
on their first album. Like it starts with like, I think it starts with Super Vixen.
Yeah.
And it's got, of
I was
course, it's
never
like
a
produced.
huge Garbage fan, I will say that.
How? Not
they-
how? Because like
I-
Nirvana and Butch Vig.
I know.
What?
I know. Please
How?
don't crucify me.
I'm wondering. I'm wondering.
I was just I don't know. Just never hit me.
Was it Shirley Manson's voice?
It's sexy. I will give her that. But it just
God,
never
it
hit me
is.
like
Never hit you like Chino
Milk.
Moreno.
Milk has always been one of my favorite songs by them, though.
Oh, I love Milk. Oh
Silky
my God, that's
and-
such a good song.
So
What about
good.
the Cranberries? I think I
yeah.
lost my Cranberries CD. My foot hurts. Can I go to the nurse? But like
My
seriously,
goodness. Can I go to the nurse?
Ellen. Seriously, Ellen. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Did you like the Cranberries? Was that a band that you loved?
I did. Yes.
Me
yes,
too.
Yes.
I always loved the Cranberries, and like when like Dolores O'Riordan, like and then, like this is the thing too. Like people from '90s bands that like we loved are like passing away now. Like last year, like I was reading like Kim Shattuck, like from the Muffs died. I'm like, fuck, and she was like only in her 40s. Yeah, like early 50s rather. She had ALS. Like, it's like, fuck, man. Like, these things happen to these people all of a sudden, like, quick, all of a sudden, like, these people that we like loved in bands are like not alive anymore all of a sudden. That's another thing about the 90s. It's crazy. It's just like you see people getting older, like, and like people that I follow on Instagram. Like, for instance, the other day I was like, of course I was like listening to like NoFX, and I follow like Fat Mike on Instagram. Well, Fat Mike is like now old Fat Mike, like like as we are aging too, right? But like he just did an article like in Hustler on weird like kinky sex. So I'm like, of course, he's still the same Fat Mike, just as all of us are still the same people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do know better and do better now. That's for sure, because everybody is a teenage little asshole in the 90s. I know I was, but it's so funny to see that evolution of all like the 90s people, like the ones that are still like with us and still living, like even like Britney Spears, like seeing Britney Spears' Instagram. It's entertaining, but I mean, unfortunately, I think that's controlled in a lot of ways. But like she is entertaining. I found her entertaining, like even in the 90s. I thought she was great when she came out. I wasn't into the whole Pop-Tart music except for like the Spice Girls and stuff like that. That wasn't my favorite, but I mean, I did
Christina's still my girl though. Whew. Love her.
Oh my God, Xtina. Oh my God, I was listening to Strip the other night and I was like, can I listen to this album around the kids? It's dirty.
It's dirty.
And then like, I don't know if I can listen to it around the kids because there's like a lot of explicitness. It's like when I want to listen to
album.
Well, it's when I want to listen to like Dr. Dre around the kids too, right? And I'm just like, there's a lot of bomb dropping going on in Dr. Dre, so I don't think that I can listen to this around the kids. And then like there's also like some like drug references, you know what I mean? Like, so there's like a lot of 90s music. 90s music is pretty safe though around the kids, which is great. Yeah. That's one thing that I love about 90s music. There wasn't like a ton of swearing, and even like some of the rap that came out, like it was like Big Willie style. Like that's like when Men in Black came out, like here come the Men in Black. Like it was like Will Smith rapping. He didn't swear in any of his songs, like at all. And like getting jiggy with it, and all those songs came out. Like I can put those on with my kids and not worry that someone's gonna drop like a bad word or drop a racist word or something like that. And then them go, Mom, what's this word? Or then heaven forbid, say it. And then go,
oh God.
Oh my God. And then, I mean, obviously Harrison knows a little bit more about what things mean because he is one woke ass child.
Yeah.
Exactly. Scarlett is 3. So no, she does not know.
And even like 90s R&B. Oh my God. Yeah. Because of my sisters. Like, playing it like incessantly in my house, in the house when they were there. Like I know a lot about 90s R&B and 90s like either dance hall or reggae.
Oh
like,
my God.
I know all of those without even wanting to.
Like,
I know all the words.
On Vogue, Sisters with Voices, Salt and Pepper.
I know
like,
it.
Like Let's Go, like fucking Down the Pipe, Destiny's Child, fucking Brandy, fucking Monica, fucking I can go down my list. Oh my God, yes. Yes. Fuck yeah. Oh my God. Like there were so many of that. That's so much of that good stuff came out then. Oh my God. There's a lot of good stuff. Like TLC was like, oh my God. Pass me some toilet paper so cool. I can wipe my ass. Like seriously.
So
pass me some toilet paper so I can wipe my ass with anybody who didn't like that record because it was awesome.
It was
and like the Red Light Special. Like I can't
that
even
album I think was that. So also very empowering, right?
Hugely for women and especially for women of color.
Yeah.
Huge, giant leap.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And giant leap.
You know, also from Salt and Pepper too was like pretty empowering just in general. So
well, but Salt and Pepper empowering for women, but like women of color too, and on Vogue. And Sisters with Voices and like all like look singers like the Brat. She came out in the 90s. She was like 15 years old and as a woman of color, especially a 15-year-old woman of color.
Yeah.
Like with a rap album with most of the subject matter being around, you know, like marijuana and kind of like the life, that ghetto life that she was, you know, the everyday life that she was living. And she was calling it, you know, ghetto life. She was 15, 14.
How old was she when
that
Cinderella? Remember
Cut it
Spinderella
up
was
one
the DJ?
time. She was the DJ for Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Peppa's DJ. There was something special about her specifically.
You're
that
gonna
she was
find
like
it
one of the youngest DJs or something like that.
ever.
Not ever, but like
her and like Sheila E. Like
there's something special about her in particular, having come out at the time, one of the youngest like female DJs to come up at that time or whatever, which was kind of cool. And huge.
Also gigantic. Like it's like here's another gigantic leap. You know what I mean? I think like in the 90s, like again, it's with that inclusiveness. Like things were blowing up like for these artists. You know what I mean? That like weren't getting attention before, and now it's like a thing, and it sucks. And now it sucks that it's a thing now, and we can't just like listen to music and not put too much thought into it, and we can't just build other people up and just let them come up. We just build everybody up. Let everybody come up. I think it's great. You know that my husband's got some questions of the week for us.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what he's got though, because it's in my face place here. Oh my God. Oh God. What is this? Oh my God. Holy shit. Some of these songs are not like the others. It's a game. It's a game. Thanks, Wyndham Earl. Like, what the fuck kind of fucking game is this? It's a game, he says. Some of these things are not like the others. Eliminate more than half to form the ultimate quintessential 90s list. So you have to eliminate songs or keep them. Okay, so we have the it's quintessential 90s list, not quintessential to us, what we would listen to. But if we were going to put a time capsule together and be like, these are songs were big in the 90s, would we take them or would we leave them? Okay. Numero uno. I'm going to say this. Dala la poco alegría Macarena. Take it or leave it.
Do we have to say at the same time, or are we at
okay? My vote is for I would. Whoever wants to go first, I don't care. I would leave the Macarena because it also became a dance craze.
Yeah, same.
So because it became a dance craze, and like it's just so iconic of the 90s, and like, hey Macarena, hey, and everybody, like they still play it at weddings, and you know what I mean. Not so much at funerals, but mostly weddings.
Yeah, funeral.
Nobody does the Macarena at a funeral. Everybody's just standing still. Fuck, start moving. Dala la poco alegría Macarena. Dead body starting to this reanimator. Oh my God. It's too crazy for the reanimator. Wannabe by the Spice Girls. Oh, that's a keep for me.
That's a keeper.
Obviously. Oh, Shine by Collective Soul. Now, take it or leave it.
Ooh, how many do we get to?
Come and let you, as many as we fucking want. We can do whatever we want. Sorry. It's just whether we take them or leave them.
Oh.
Come and let your light shine down. Oh. For me, Collective Soul wasn't quintessential 90s because I would say like that's an alternative band for the 90s.
Girl.
So for me, Shine is a leave it for me.
I like the other song better.
Girl. I love. Okay, so put girl stays, but Shine is gone. Now, despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Would you take Bullet with Butterfly Wings out, or would you leave it in?
Take.
Personally, I would put a different Smashing Pumpkins song in.
Oh wait, are we saying that we're going to leave it in the era to stay there forever?
Forever, but like it was for me, it would be Smashing Pumpkins, but it wouldn't be The World is a Vampire. Santa Drain. I put it on the other day for Harrison, and Harrison's like, the minute Billy Corgan's like, the world is a vampire, Harrison was like, oh, His face was amazing. I would keep the Smashing Pumpkins, but I would swap Bullet with Butterfly Wings for Today, actually.
Oh, good song.
Because it's like my ultimate 90s like pumpkin song. Today.
Yeah, it's a great song. Oh my God,
And it's just
there's
like
so
it's on
many good
Siamese
ones.
Dream. Like, because I understand, like, I mean, Melancholy is like like that whole album is 90s for me.
Yeah, true.
But I think I would, what would you do with it?
Stabbing me. You talking to me?
Yeah. Would you take it or leave it?
Bullet with Butterfly Wings? I don't know. For me, that crosses some lines for me in the sense that it's like I listened to that into the 2000s. That
Oh
album.
yeah, well into the 2000s. I mean, I
So,
listen to it now.
I don't think it is really 90s.
No?
I agree
Okay,
with
so
you.
keep that one out.
Siamese Dream is more 90s to me. So
Yeah, that's just Siamese Dream has always been the 90s
keep
album
it.
for me, big time. Big time. Basket Case by Green Day. Do you have the time to keep that one in there?
Keep it in the 90s?
Keep it in the 90s.
No, I'll take it. I want that song forever.
I wouldn't put Basket Case in the 90s. If there was a Green Day, like if I was going to put Green Day into the 90s, because I think Green Day were like huge in the 90s.
When I Come Around is more 90s to me.
I think I would put When I Come Around in it too. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like that, or like Time of Your Life, because it's like it took the 90s and like summed it all up and like quintessentially just grabbed it all. It was like a catch-all because it kind of came in kind of at the end, right?
Dookie, what an album.
Dookie was a fucking fantastic album, front to back. Like I love Kerplunk too, right? Like
Yep.
I love Kerplunk. Like Dookie's just such
Although
a
I did buy Kerplunk after
album.
Dookie, not gonna lie.
So did I. I bought Dookie first on tape with the
both of them on tape.
With the presidents of the United States of America.
Yeah.
She's lump, she's in my head. Oh my God, I had a lot of peaches. They come from a can. My God. Now, this is a fucking no-brainer keep for me. Buddy Holly by Weezer.
Oh, yeah, Honey P. Honey P.
Yep. And then, oh my God, this is another Honey P for me. Black Hole Sun sound.
Oh, Honey P.
Oh yes. Everything about that. Chris Cornell, the video, the song, the craziness, the lady with the lips, the butt, like,
the lady with the lips,
like everything melting in that video. It's like a Salvador Dali on acid. Fucking everything about that song, feel, everything is quintessential 90s. And Chris Cornell's voice, rest his soul. Nobody can fucking sing like Chris Cornell. Nobody.
He's gorgeous.
Nobody.
So beautiful and so talented.
Oh, what a beautiful man. Speaking of another beautiful man, unfortunately, that has passed. Doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Is that 90s?
It was 90s because he also did like a little thing with like Macaulay Culkin there, and it was like big and like dancing together. So like as much I don't mean like did a little thing with Macaulay Culkin. I didn't mean like everyone's seen Finding Neverland. I didn't mean he made him bend over and had looked at his butthole. I mean, trigger warning.
He did the little he did like that video. That video was, what was the one that he did with Lisa Presley? Marie?
Oh my God, Lisa Marie Presley. Oh my God, you are not alone. I'm like, this is something. And they were not together for very long. That was gone. Black or White, though, I think was totally quintessential 90s because I mean, like, him dropping into all those different scenes with like all the animals behind him and like dancing with all the different people and like dancing with like tribes like in the middle of the Amazon. And oh my God,
that was okay.
He was like the Russell Brand that get him to the Greek, like when he was doing like he was the what do you call himself, the African Space Christ. That would never fucking fly now. I mean, like that's on Netflix and stuff, but they're like, hey, trigger warning, this guy's gonna do something totally fucking offensive. And I think even at the time, Russell Brand like knew it was offensive, was making fun of people that do shit like that.
Oh my God.
Like anyone who didn't get like what he was doing and Get Him to the Greek was like, that's racist. Well, it is racist, like blatantly fucking racist. But what he was doing is making fun of people that go over to marginalized third world countries and, you know, shoot bazillion-dollar music videos and are fucking assholes and being like, yeah, I'm just going to adopt this culture.
Oh my God.
Person ever. That would not fly nowadays.
That would not fly. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't fly.
No, it shouldn't fly. There's a reason it's not allowed to fly. It's going to get shot the fuck down with an M80.
Oh my God.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. Speaking of get the fuck out of here, Shoop.
Very 90s.
Oh my God, Snoop Rob fucking loves salt and pepper. So
Snoop
Scooby Dooby, like Scooby Dooby. I have a video of him on my phone rapping all of Shoop, like fucking freestyle.
It's iconic.
Oh my God, it's so good.
So iconic.
In the pre wanna get with me. I'm like, where it was like when we first started.
Where is this going from?
We just did it in the car one day, and I was like, the T and the C want to get with thee.
I want to get with thee.
I want you to put your P in my V. And then and now we have Scarlet. We got, oh my God, we got You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette.
Oh, so good.
Because that's quintessential, like, girl 90s rage. Fuck
yep.
Dave Coulier, like Joey. You ought to know. Would you go down on me in a theater? I don't know. Would you?
Answer me.
I would leave that one under there. I put Hanson in the same category as the Moffats.
Keep your alt-right to yourself. Thanks. Bye.
Get the fuck. They're so super alternative right wing. They're probably like not wearing a mask.
It's just the drummer, apparently, not the other guys. Bullshit. They want to make that very clear.
Bullshit. That tree's all made from the
just
same.
Saying.
All that big racist tree made from big racist wood. All branches cut from same tree. That is a horrible tree. I'd cut down the Hanson tree immediately. Smooth by Santana.
Ooh. Well, I just have to say that Rob Thomas and I dated for a very short period of time.
He even left you a t-shirt.
He left me a t-shirt that said, I love you, Fallon. And
you're so smooth.
Yeah, I'm so smooth. I sang on the Grammy Award-winning song with Santana.
Oh,
so I'm biased.
Garlic is so sexy.
My ex-boyfriend.
So we're gonna take smooth out.
I just have to say that song.
What's Rob Thomas gonna say about this?
I don't know. I just have to support my Rob forever.
Well, I'm so glad that you're on such good terms with your exes. Like that's awesome. Like I'm glad.
Rob, I love you and support you.
And
eternally.
And watching right now. You should have worn a shirt.
Can we have him on the show?
I'm still sleeping in your clothes, Rob Thomas. I can ask him. I mean, you guys are still on good terms.
We're still on good terms. Oh, absolutely.
He's like, take off my shirt before the band.
Before you jinx the band and they
break up. And then they did. Oh, look what you did. Oh, Fallon. Oh my God.
What this one didn't break up? They're still together.
Are they? No, I'm joking. They're still together. He's just Rob Thomas is just an entity on his own.
Oh.
What about Enter Sandman by Metallica?
Oh, keep them. I don't need.
I could leave Enter Sandman out.
Forever, please. Thanks.
No, not for me. I like Metallica, but Enter Sandman's not a song that I like. It's just not. It's just like Megadeth for me. I love Megadeth. I do not love Dave Mustaine. I do not love Mega Dave. I just don't love that. I don't love that mega ego. I just don't love it. I can't get down with it. I think Metallica is a fucking extremely talented band. But if there was going to be a Metallica song that I was going to keep as quintessential 90s, it definitely would not be Enter Sandman at all. Definitely not. But I would definitely put some Metallica in there for sure. Like definitely, but not Enter Sandman. California Love by Tupac and Dr. Dre. 100%. That's a keeper for me. And we got Wonderwall by Oasis.
Oh
yeah, I definitely keep that one. I love the Beatles. I mean Oasis. I love them. I love Oasis. So I would keep Oasis in there for sure.
Is my pick though, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah?
How many special people change? How many that wee wee.
Oh, it's so pretty. Like it's like a little bit of like it's like a harmonium. I think they're
Yeah.
using there. I think they're using a harmonium for the production there. It's beautiful. What else has he got here? He's got Barbie Girl by Aqua. That's just funny to both of us because it just
I hate
is.
them. Move on.
I fucking goodbye, Aqua. Fuck you, Aqua.
Fuck off, Aqua.
Hey, Bobby, you want to go for a ride? Sure,
No,
Ken.
die
Right
in a car crash.
Bye. Barbie's such a bitch. She is just a witch. I really hate her. Why does Ken date her? Ken is such a man. I'll do all I can just to do him. I just want to screw him. Oh, that Barbie's such a bitch. I just want to scratch her eyes out. I don't know what that was brought to you by, but I'm glad that it came out.
Can we make that a remix? Because I love that.
Poor Barbie. I have dreams about Ken coming into my den, and we kiss and we touch like we're sweethearts. But that Barbie's a slut with her cute little butt, and I guess I'm not even gonna go there. And I try every day, but straight up, that bitch is in my way. Barbie's such a bitch. She is just a witch. Poor Barbie. I'm glad I didn't wear my Barbie shirt today. Oh, I'm sorry for that outburst. Self-Esteem by The Offspring. Offspring was not a band. Like when they started doing like Pretty Fly for a White Guy, they like lost all credibility with me. When they're like, give it to me, baby. And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white. Bye. That's when Offspring kind of lost like credibility for me. I'm like, now you're turning into kind of like a joke band. I thought it was too silly.
One song they did that
Self-Esteem?
No. Hold on. It'll come to me.
Yeah. That one?
No, that just reminds me of freaking Crazy Taxi for Dreamcast. Yeah.
So fast.
You stupid dumb shit, goddamn motherfucker.
Oh yeah. That's what that I would put that one in too. Oh, we got Hit Me Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. I would leave Brit in there. Free Britney.
My loneliness is. Hey, that song is fucking awesome. I don't care.
That song is a banger. I did that on my TikTok with that bass guy not too long ago, and I had so much fun. I love doing duets on TikTok because it's so fun. Song 2 by Blur. Woohoo!
Great song.
I would keep that in there.
Riff.
Oh my god. Everybody knows that, right? Waterfalls by TLC. Absolutely.
Oh, don't go making phony calls.
Yeah, don't go making phony calls. And I mean, every quintessential song that Weird Al
song ever.
Keep it. Put it in there. Every fucking Weird Al song that he parodied, put it in the 90s time capsule and seal it with Weird Al because it's awesome.
Once or twice.
Living in an Amish paradise. Anti-maskers just aren't nice. Living in an Elmer paradise. Going to the church with fucking Lurch, doing whatever the fuck we want. Oh my god. We actually, a bunch of people
so good.
In Elmer just got charged under the Canada Reopening Act or whatever with going to church and not wearing masks and stuff. And 2 of them were cops. This just happened just down the road. Well, not down the road. I mean, we're like basically in Arva. This is in Elmer. So, I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. Oh my God. Weird Al Yankovic. Oh my God. He is such a talented artist. Like speaking of like the 90s in him, that guy can like wail on accordion. Have you ever seen him play accordion?
Okay. Did you see the performance that he did on John Oliver?
Yes.
I have never seen a man like I've seen him perform obviously with the accordion. Like the only person I've ever seen play accordion live is you.
Yeah. And obviously I don't play like Weird Al.
But I was like, holy shit. Like that's hard. It's not easy.
He's really a talented musician. like just really talented. I mean, like talk about like like Weird Al. Did you ever see UHF?
UHF.
It's a movie, and I never saw it until a couple of years ago, and it's a very like 90s movie. It's a Weird Al movie. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it, and then you have to talk to me about it after, because you will piss yourself. Like, it's ridiculous. It is like every 90s silliness that you could think of in your life. It's about like a low budget TV station, and like Michael, what's his name? Kramer is in it from Seinfeld. Michael Richards is in it. Like what's her name?
Victoria's Secret?
Victoria. No, not Victoria Principal, close. But like there's tons of notable actors you'll know from it, from like 80s movies and stuff like that. And it's hysterical. UHF with Weird Al Yankovic. You'll piss yourself. It's so good. It is so good. I mean, everything in the 90s was good, except maybe all the additives they used in food. I don't think we use many of those now.
Cholesterol.
Yeah, let's go grab a can of cheese balls and just fucking chill out, get some shit from Marks and Spencer's, and just pour it down the fucking pie hole. So those I would add a few more songs, definitely quintessential songs. I would say I would put Mr. Jones on that list of quintessential songs.
Ooh, cool. Counting Crows, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Live? Lightning Crashes?
Lightning Crashes, definitely. That, and then also, like, for some Canadian content, The Hip. I would put Ahead by a Century in there, because like as much as I never totally got 100% into The Hip, I did appreciate The Hip, and there were certain songs that I loved, like Bob Cajun, because they just like painted a picture of like Canadiana. If there's any band that is like so Canada, it's the Tragically Hip, and I appreciate that so much, and I love them for that, so like for that reason. But Ahead by a Century, oh my god. I can see the video, like that's where the horn stung me, and like I can see it. I can see everything about it, and I can visualize everything that's going on. So I think that's a quintessential 90s song. Also, I think, is it called 1,000 miles or 500 miles? Well, I want to walk 500 miles, and I want to walk. The fucking Proclaimers. That song was like on everything in the 90s. I would throw that in, but I would throw in like a few more girl bands. Like Violet was like super quintessential 90s. I would throw that in as like Volcano Girls or Seether. Probably I'd throw one of those in. Probably both, honestly. Like some of the singles, because just to get the girl band singles, to just get everybody's like head around like what this is.
Agreed.
I would throw Nirvana in there, like, too. I'm surprised Nirvana didn't end up on that list, other than Smells Like Teen Spirit. I would throw different Nirvana songs in there, for sure. Like, you love Nirvana. What would you throw in? What would your
good question.
Nirvana.
I mean, Smells Like Teen Spirit was never really my favorite single of theirs.
Mine either.
Lithium probably would be of the singles, was probably one of my favorite. It wasn't my favorite song by them, but
no. But if you had to throw a single in the box, like I would throw Heart Shaped Box in, because I think
Heart Shaped Box, as well.
Because I'd be like, okay, this is Nirvana.
The video,
understand this, Oh, the video was so cerebral, like you know what I mean, like, and now of course that would be like a huge trigger warning, but again, like that wasn't a thing because no one was bothered by it, because nobody thought about it in that way, because going out of their way to offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings or troll anybody or be mean. That's one thing the 90s did not have, was like a lot of like trolling. Not only because there wasn't like the platform for it, because it just like didn't happen.
But I think also Kurt in a lot of ways was a huge troll.
Well, in a very insightful,
in a very subversive way, but like I think
like shit disturber.
He was a bit of a shit. Well, not a bit. He was a lot a shit disturber, because he knew that he would inflame people in a lot of ways, which is what I in some ways I respected, because it would get people talking about things. Like he was one of the, and I didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
But he was one of the first interviews that I read talking about feminism and trans rights and things like that. And when I looked back on it, I was reading about it and I'm like, oh my God, I was reading these articles talking about things that I didn't understand at the time.
Well, because at the time you definitely don't understand that
I
terminology.
wasn't registering. I was young, but it wasn't registering. I was like, oh, he was talking about things that was really ahead of his like, oh,
like things we're talking about now. Like he was light years ahead of his time.
Now, and he's just like, huh, wow, okay,
and he was I mean, he was the first guy to wear a dress
much
on
ahead of his time.
You know what I mean? Oh, he was very wise and very ahead of his time, big time. I think if he would have been around, things would have been a lot different. I think if a lot of the 90s staples would have stayed not the way they were, because I think things stay the way they are too long, they get stagnant. But if there would have been, obviously, naturally, because this is the way it is, there would have been just some evolution to that. And I'm really curious as to see what would have happened and what would have transpired, and if we would have the music we have now. Because I mean, some of it, I mean, that's coming out is amazing, and I hear these amazing like bands, but they're like mostly independent. And then I see these bands that are having like millions of dollars pumped into them, and a lot of it's a steaming pile of dog shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you know me, I'm about as blunt as a spoon, so you know. Like, really, like, why are people sinking millions of dollars into these like artists? They're like they don't know whether to record their album or buy a package of Mr. Noodles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, it's going the wrong way. It has gone completely
it's really interesting to me. A lot of I'm working on creating playlists of artists that I've been listening to, and most of the artists that I listen to are not popular artists, although don't get me wrong, I do listen to a lot of popular artists as well, but the ones that get me through mainstream are artists that have like maybe 100 subscribers or whatever, 100 200 subscribers. They're all ambient artists, people that nobody has ever heard of, but I've literally discovered them by accident, but they get me through my day. They're people that, you know, they probably have regular jobs, like, but they make music that literally save me. Like, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. And it's giving you, and it's bringing you that like comfort, and it's bringing you that warmth, and it's bringing you whatever it's bringing you, whether it's bringing you creativity, whether it's like a muse for you, whether it's just helping you get through, you know, something like a task that is like really tasky. There's just like, oh God, I have to do like taxes or something menial. Like, oh fuck, I got to file my income tax.
Just finished that.
Click. Oh, sorry, TurboTax. I know my mom, we're under like the stay-at-home order and everything. So my mom's like, can I drop all my tax stuff off on your porch and everything? I'm just like, yes, Mom. So I'm going to do my mom's taxes and all that. I'm like, and my Opa had passed away, obviously, the tax year previously. So I have to do his taxes and stuff. Like, oh, being grown up is so much fun. Tax year. That's something I didn't have to do in the 90s, taxes.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
More taxes definitely have been developed since the 90s.
Hell yeah.
Why, in the words of the late Sharon Jones from the Daft Kings, the lead singer of the Daft Kings was her backing band, actually. Why don't we all stop paying taxes?
Fuck taxes. But then again,
seriously, like,
I will gladly pay taxes so that we can have a healthcare system that
so we have like lots of vaccines and a healthcare system that doesn't collapse.
Because fuck, I need
tax me out the ass. Tax that ass. Tax me on the inside, cash me on the outside, cash me wherever you want.
Yes, please.
Well, you all know where you're going to be able to catch me for the next, probably eternity. You're going to be able to catch me on Instagram at 21st Century Rocker Mom Podcast. It's just a 21st Century Rocker Mom. You can catch me on Twitter at Tanya Candler. I don't do the Facebook thing anymore because the only person who likes my Facebook is my mom. And you can find me on TikTok at 21st Century Rocker Mom doing dumb shit. Fallon, where are they going to find you at?
You can find me.
Where are you hiding these days?
Where am I hiding? You can find me at Fallon BOWMAN, which is just my regular musician profile. Or if you want my music stuff, which is my Amphibious Assault project, which is amphibious.assault on Instagram, and on TikTok, same thing, amphibious.assault.
Okay, yeah. and I'm going to encourage people. I'm going to tell you this. I don't want and people who are listening to follow my 21st Century Rocker Mom Instagram account, because that is the one that I don't have my kids on and shit. Like, I will not approve your follower request if you go and you request my private one, unless I know you and we chat and shit. You're not seeing pictures of my motherfucking kids. So this is just a public service announcement. That's what's going on.
PSA, babes.
Oh, hugest PSA. You're not seeing my kids. So fuck that. See me on 21st Century Rocker Mom. See the dumb shit I do. I don't do dumb shit like that in my regular life. It's just hikes with my children and flowers and fucking food. So, you know what I mean? Tune in for some fun. I will catch you all on the flip flop. I'll catch you, Fallon, on the flip flop. It was good to talk to you today. I'm going to go and call the corners now. Like,
all right.
I know. It's calling. Can you blow out one of these candles?
Fire, water. Earth, air, fire, water.
Now is the time. This is the hour. Ours is the magic. Ours is the power.
Ours is the hour.
This Beverly 2 90210 type of hoe is going to get out of here. So here we go. Freestyle my way out the fucking door. All this stuff is like, this stuff will be gone.